When performing investigative journalism like I have the last few weeks, I found out that it's just as important to mooch off other people's sources as it is finding your own sources. And a note left inside my car made me Mooch King 2020. I'm Ryan Davidson, and I have been fascinated by the Dogman legend, those who have seen him, and those whose lives have been touched by him. This is Lookin Back and a Grinnin. Episode 9, Dogpile. The other day I went in to get a sandwich, and when I got out, on the driver's side seat of the car, there was a note that said, "I have a story for you." So I decided to give him a call and find out what this story was all about. Hi, is this Randy?
Hi, Ryan?
Yes, it is. I guess you have caller ID. So I noticed that you had left a note on my driver's side of my car, and clearly you must know that we are doing a podcast.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I have a story for you regarding the Dogman, and I believe that you are one of the only voices that'll let me tell this truthfully and without prejudice.
Randy, I'm all ears. Whatever you got to say, this is a safe space.
Thank you so much. So, hi, I'm Randy Cook. I'm a journalist.
Okay.
I've been doing some research on the local deviants here in Washington, and I got to ask, do you know anything about the term doggers?
Doggers? No, I don't.
Okay, perfect. So, traditionally, the term of dogger is held exclusively for someone who watches other people having sex in a car or has sex out in public.
Oh, my God.
Basically, if you can be seen, you're probably partaking.
Okay, all right.
There's been an uptick of that recently here in town, and I've been tasked with infiltrating and becoming a part of those communities online that organize these events to go out and spy on people in their cars.
Okay.
So in my research of trying to find where these groups would meet and infiltrate them, I came upon this one group happening called Dogpile.
Dogpile?
Dogpile, yes. I reached out to the group and I got in contact with the organizer. His name was Josiah Douglas, and he was very eager and excited to speak with me. Anyway, he insisted that I take a Greyhound to meet him in Moses Lake, which I did.
Did he specifically say Greyhound?
Yes.
I figured, okay.
So I show up, and it is this large ranch, and I'm greeted by this bubbly, overweight gentleman, shakes my hand, he gets real up close to me, and thanks me over and over and over and over.
Okay.
He leads me to the back where they have a shed that's full of merchandise. They're preparing to sell what they call Dogpile 2019 t-shirts and mugs and dog collars. You know, as most deviants, they like to get a little freaky.
Sure, yeah, you gotta have those.
And he said, well, you know, this is all rooted in the legend of the Dogman.
What?
And we, as the Dogpile people, worship the Dogman.
They worship the Dogman.
They worship the Dogman, and they wish to meet him. I didn't press more about that because he wanted to show me so much more. He showed me his garden where they would be providing the provisions for the night, and then he led me to this stage where he said, this, for the evening, we will be having our costume contest.
Costume contest. Okay, all right.
And he told me the guests who are coming will be arriving in full costume, and we will be judging them to see who best represents the Dogman.
Wow.
This is the second time he had mentioned that to me.
Right.
So I asked a little more. I was like, who is this Dogman to you? And he said, oh, it is what they would call a cryptid nowadays, and we have this whole event planned out to bring him forth so that he will join us in the celebration. And I asked him, how do you intend to bring him forward? He's like, follow me. So he leads me next to an old drive-in movie theater on his property.
So they also own a drive-in theater.
Yes. And he tells me, here we will be projecting and showing the movie Air Bud. which we believe will be the key to bringing forth the Dogman.
Wow.
And down here, where the cars are supposed to be, you can see that we've outlined an area. That is where, as soon as the Golden Retriever makes his first dunk, we will sound this horn. And he proceeded to blow on the horn. And then we will commence to fuck in that circle.
So,
And he started walking away, so I asked him, wait, what about the other section? And he said, oh, that's just for anyone who wants to watch the movie.
okay, so wait. So they were going to take part in the dogging. Were there people there who were going to be, I guess, having sex, and then everybody would watch?
So they would take turns, was my understanding from the forum.
Well, that's nice.
So I asked him, your intention here is to have a giant gangbang, an orgy of sorts to bring forth the Dogman? And he said, yes, absolutely. We believe that it is the pungence of this sex act of all these people together that will bring him out. I asked him why. Why the belief in that? And he opened my eyes to this. Back in the 1800s, apparently, dogger was the term used for the dog man spying on Native American tribes.
Okay.
He would stand outside of the villages of the tribes and just watch people in their most intimate moments, just creeping in and being not discreet per se. He would huff and puff and masturbate furiously outside their tents. This disturbed people. And it was happening everywhere, all over America, apparently.
Wow. So this is more historical context, I think, than we've ever actually had on this show.
Well, keep in mind, this is all from one source, one man who was very, very passionate about meeting a dogman himself who hasn't.
So what happened after that?
The night began. You know, we had tea, and pretty soon it was nightfall. I was in the projector room with Josiah, well, waiting for him to arrive, and sure enough, he shows up at sundown, fully dressed for the event. And by fully dressed, I mean all he had on was Dalmatian printed chaps and a homemade papier-mâché dog head, about 3 feet tall, standing over his shoulders. And he was so excited, he was panting and jumping up and down and shaking his ass.
Oh my goodness.
He was acting like a dog. And he presses play on the movie and he says, it's gonna start. And slowly but surely, people start trickling in, and people are wearing all kinds of suits, costumes, homemade, real fur, some bought at a Halloween shop. So I go down and I try talking to a lot of these guests. A lot of them, several are believers. They were part of his meetup group, and people were lathering on lotion and getting ready for the events of that night. And then more people were coming with far more elaborate costumes, more colorful. So, figuring they were part of it, I began to talk to them, and they said, well, from the highway we saw Airbud playing, and I was like, oh, so you're here to watch the movie? And they said, no, we can tell that some shit is going down here.
They had the costumes already?
They had them with them. They drive around the state looking for Airbud being projected. Apparently this is a calling for some other group that I'll eventually need to investigate. But for now, they were welcome to Dogpile.
Wow.
Several families arrived in their wagons to watch the movie. I walked up to a minivan full of children, and they were just in tears. I couldn't get a single word out of them.
So, how did this orgy begin?
Well, all the guests who were at the front of the stage divided themselves right down the middle, like like the Red Sea, and they each ran to opposite ends. The Golden Retriever makes its first basket, and this horn is blown and echoes through the valley. Everybody screams and just runs into each other, colliding at the center of the stage.
Okay.
Bodies are flung everywhere, and it just starts.
Wow.
Now, lucky for me, I was invited to watch, and that is the nature of dogging. It's both watching, participating, and just enjoying yourself. So there was no pressure. And for my own journalistic integrity, I cannot participate in any of this, so I'm here just watching this. I'm here to observe.
That's totally fair. I get that.
So
So,
it's a mass of piles there, and Josiah walked up behind me, pats me on the back, and says to me, you see what I've created? And he whispers into my ear, look, if you're gonna catch the devil, you don't send angels, and runs into the pile head first.
oh, wow.
And it was a little shocking. As the movie and the event reached its climax, a group howl ensues. Several cars start honking and begin to leave. The movie's credits roll, and giant fake eyeballs were scattered everywhere. People were moaning and groaning, and pretty soon somebody in the crowd yelled out, "Where is he?" No one responded. The Dogman didn't show up.
Okay.
People were disappointed in their efforts. It was a mess. And that was about when I figured I should get a jump on, get ahead of traffic.
Sure, yeah.
As I was leaving, one figure jumped onto the stage, backlit by the movie, and they appeared to be much like that dog who fights crime.
McGruff.
McGruff, yes, just like McGruff. And he sheds his trench coat, howls all alone up on the stage, sees my headlights, and then runs at my car full speed and just like shoulders into the side door and starts shaking the whole thing. And I'm terrified at this event. Slobber is falling onto my window. This is no costume. Make no mistake, Ryan. And he stops. He begins sniffing, and I hear in a low, growling voice, "Smells like a good time." And he runs into the pile behind me. Well, in my shock, I left. I didn't see what happened.
Okay, that does sound like a Dogman. I would love to know what your theories are on this.
So sure, maybe the Dogman is just late by nature, but I believe that he is more attracted to the smell of sloppy seconds.
Now, there are people that say the Dogman is drawn to stinks that could strip lead paint. So, you're saying that it stunk so bad that the Dogman caught a whiff and said,
Yes, that is exactly. The air was full of shame, disappointment, and just BO all over that brought him out. It worked.
Randy, I've been talking to several people that have had experiences with the Dogman shitting and making graffiti with his shit. Do you know if anyone was shitting or if a Dogman was shitting in that entire pile?
It's funny that you mentioned that. I didn't think it was important at the time, but there were several people who arrived in diapers.
Okay.
Full diapers. I didn't approach them specifically. Now that you mention that, it makes sense to me that they would arrive prepared to contribute to the stench or to the atmosphere, as it were. Whether the Dogman himself took a shit, I don't know. I inspected my car. The only thing on there was what I believe to be saliva, potentially cum on the tires. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Randy, I would say to you, this has been so informative, but really, are you going to do a story on this?
I sure would love to. When I presented this to my editor, he wanted nothing to do with it, and several sources were telling me that this isn't a story, this is disgusting. And I gotta tell you, I have been trying, and I've contacted as many legitimate media sources as I could think of here, and you are the first to call me back. and I am forever grateful.
Randy, I would say that right now you feel like a real ally to Lookin Back and a Grinnin, and we are so thankful for you sharing this story with us, but also sharing the bond that one has about the Dogman. And I wish you the best of luck. I hope you can get over this experience. It sounds traumatic, but things happen.
It was eye-opening.
I would love to get a hold of you in the future because I have not found anyone who has been more successful in finding a Dogman than you.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I'd be happy to be a part of this some more. I mean, the sheer success that these people experienced that night is fascinating. I knew nothing of the Dogman before this night, and I gotta tell you, I am a believer now.
Yeah, it sounds hot.
It was hot. It was steamy. I would love to be back.
Well, Randy, I appreciate you, and I wish you well. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you. I love you too.
Throughout this season of Lookin Back and a Grinnin', I've learned not only so much about the Dogman, but also about myself, and how I really wish I knew who the Dogman was. But I don't, so that doesn't help. But what if this mystery is part of my journey, my personal journey? You know, the strange thing about journeys is you never know which direction it's going to go. Hello?
Ryan, I'm Jerry Davidson.
What?
You might remember me as your father.
Dad? Dad?
Now, I need your help, Ryan.
Dad, where are you going? Dad, no! Daddy!